Hi, everybody. It's Rolanda Sumner, creator of Business Launch Prep School and CEO and founder of Life After Service Transitional Coaching. Okay, so uh, today I'm going to go over 5 reasons you should raise your rates. These are reasons that are probably sticking out in front of you right now, but you may be just too scared or too nervous to take that leap and raise your rates. I'm giving you permission to do that right now. Okay, so the first reason is your time becomes limited. And what that means is you don't have as much time as you used to. Your calendar is getting booked pretty quickly. Uh, you have less time to fool around. And so you're in more demand. Your time, it's your time. Like you just don't have enough time to address all of the things, business or personal, that are coming your way. And so your time becomes more valuable when it's reduced. So guess what you do? You raise your rates. If this is a common problem when you are undercharging. If you're charging like $75 an hour and then you have all these people in your schedule and you're like, well, I can't take everybody and I'm still being underpaid, it's because you need to raise your rates. The second reason is you are incorporating a new skill, a new offer, something that is going to enhance your service or program into your program. It's an enhancement. You learned something that's going to really benefit your clients. You're bringing in other resources. Say your overhead is going up because for whatever reason your overhead is going up and you need to charge. That is another reason to raise your rates. Okay, so just like in anything, you know our rates get raised too. As a coach, you have systems that you use, and those rates get raised annually as well. So, what happens when they get raised? It comes out of our pocket, and we need to pass that on to the customer. This isn't a bad thing. This is just normal business. Don't feel bad about having to bump up your prices to accommodate what you're having to pay for. If you have learned something new, it's not costing you really anything more to learn this thing, and which it's valuable. Guess what? Raise your rates. That's something valuable that you're going to offer your clients to help them get a better result, to help them go further. You guys, I'm tipping my head because these are like blue screened, so I don't get a headache. And so if you don't see my eyes clearly, I'm sorry, but me tipping my head this way it's annoying. But either way, if you have a new skill, and say it's like, look, it didn't cost me anything more to get this new skill, it doesn't matter. It's a new skill. It's going to benefit your clients. Raise your rates. Okay. The third thing is you need to meet inflation. I just talked about inflation where your suppliers, your overhead, anything that's affecting your overhead, those rates are going up, and now you have to pass that on to the client. So number two is really about having a new skill, a new enhancement to your program or service. And number three is about inflation. You know, your rates are going up for you to maintain the business. Now you have to pass that on to the client. Number four, you were undercharging from the beginning. I promise you about 50% of you, if not a lot more, are undercharging. You're afraid, and it makes sense that you're afraid to charge. It really does, especially women. Like, it's really scary when you're out here and you're trying to charge appropriately, but you don't want to look like a gold digger. You don't want to look like you're just out for the money. You don't want to look like you're just out for the cheese. You want to be nurturing and helpful, and oh, how can I charge that much? And what I hear constantly from my clients and from just different sales calls is the people I want to help can't afford it. I don't want to outprice them. And I'm here to tell you that you're not going to outprice your clients. You're not going to. When they see the value and that you can help them solve a problem, they will find a way to make it affordable. What you can do is offer different options of payment. So instead of just doing full payment, and I know there's two different camps, the camp that's like, oh, full payments are the only way, and the camp that's like, no, we need to take all types of payments, payment plans and everything. Instead of being on the camp that says, hey, full payments are the only way, move over to the camp that says, hey, we're going to make this affordable for our clients. And what that looks like is offering payment plans. What that looks like is offering financing options to make it more affordable for that client. And more affordable doesn't mean making it less. It just means making it possible for them to make payments. It may not be possible for them to pay $5,000 in one big chunk, but it can be possible for them to pay $200 a month. Or say they're like, look, I can't pay $200 a month for my budgeting's bad, or whatever the case may be, but I can give you, $100 a week or $50 a week or what have you. Okay, but that's more affordable than coming up with $5,000 in a lump sum. So making it more affordable for your clients doesn't mean reducing your prices. It just means offering them options to pay for it. That's not going to break their bank, right? It's not going to break their bank. It's something that they already have the money in their weekly paycheck or something. They might be wasting the money, honestly, on like takeout and all this stuff. And now they can use it to enhance themselves and get higher consciousness and enlightenment and a better business and what have you. Okay, that's what that means. So if you are undercharging because you're afraid that your future clients cannot afford it, I'm here to tell you that that is not true. They can afford it. You just have to give them what they are asking for. You got to give them what they want. You have to offer them value and show them what the value is in a way that they're like, look, I can't live without this. Okay, and that goes into some sales training that BLPS will cover. The fifth reason why you should raise your rates is you want to keep up with competitors. So every market has, rate raises, and you don't want to be the one who the market is charging $2,000 or $2,500 for X, Y, and Z, and you're still charging like $500 for a package for a program. You want to at least meet your competition in the pricing area. You want to at least, if not exceed them. Honestly, there are programs, services, coaches. There's a whole lot of things that come into the luxury category, and it's priced above the line. And for the right client, they are looking for that above the line pricing because they want that level of care. They want that level of service. So if you're working with a particular market, they might be like, look, we don't go for average. We don't do basic. We want the above the line pricing when we're willing to pay that because we know we're going to get a certain level of service. So you don't want to compete on price is what I'm saying. Okay. So if you're competing on price and you're trying to beat your competition and how low you can go, particularly in the coaching game, you will lose every time. The coaching game is not designed for you to compete on pricing. It's designed for you to compete on value, reputation, integrity, okay, results. And you can't give clients the results that they want, love, and need if you are undercharging. So at least meet the competition. And I would even say, learn about what the luxury levels are doing and then meet them there. Be available to give your clients the utmost and to signal to your clients that you are giving them the utmost. You have to price appropriately. Think about it. If you bought a phone case, you saw an OtterBox phone case at Big Lots. You're thinking there might be something slightly wrong or amiss with this OtterBox case because we all know OtterBoxes are like $45, $50, $60, $70, $80. So you generally wouldn't see it at Big Lots. So you're really not really giving it much credit. You need this OtterBox. You're going to try it out. It's only like $10. It's a break. But you're not giving it a whole lot of credibility. You're like, whatever. But you see this OtterBox online where it generally is, and it's somebody is charging appropriately. They're charging $40 to $80 depending on what the features are. Then you're like, oh, this OtterBox is going to work. It is definitely going to work. It's priced right. There's no discount. I don't have to worry about it being broken, cracked. The rubber in it is stretched out. I don't have to worry about any of that. You do when you go to Big Lots. You might be concerned that it's a little dusty. Okay. It's the same concept. If you're not charging appropriately, if you're not in line with the competition or a little above, people are going to look at your service side eye like, oh, you're only charging $500 for this program. Okay. And they're not gonna come into the program as dedicated as you would like them to. So the 5 reasons are your time is limited. You're in more demand for whatever reason, and you just don't have that much space in your calendar to fill it up with extra stuff. And when your time is limited, you're more valuable. 2, you are incorporating an enhancement of some kind into your program or your service. So you got trained on assessment technique, whatever, that's going to enhance your client's experience and results, or you're bringing in someone to help enhance that client's results or experience. Whatever the case may be, there's some type of enhancement that is happening to your service or the results that the clients are getting. You need to meet inflation. So that means, if your bills go up, their bills go up too, because at the end of the day, you have to pay bills. You have to pay business bills so you can keep the doors open. You got to pay your own bills so you can keep the lights on. You can still feed yourself and your family. 4, you were undercharging from the beginning. You were undercharging from the get-go. And it's just time. Like sometimes that's the only reason you were undercharging, and now it's just like, okay, it's time. Stop it. Just stop and just charge appropriately, please. Get off the nipple. It's okay. You're going to be all right. You're going to start to attract the clients that you really, really, really want to attract. Okay. And then the next one is you want to keep up with competitors. You don't want to compete on price ever. Never, ever, never, ever do you want to compete on price. Never, ever. Okay. So as I promised, I'm going to show you how to use the coaching program pricing calculator that I use with my business launch prep school students. To get this calculator for free, you're going to visit lastgo.com BLPS podcast. Something's going to pop up, a pop-up is going to come up, and then you're just going to sign up for it, confirm that you signed up for it, and then it's going to come to you in an email. So I'm going to show you how to use it. Once I developed it, it took me a while to come up with this, but I think it's spot on. My clients love it. And so here we go. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to need to make a copy of this and put it on your Google Drive. You're going to need to make a copy of this and put it on your Google Drive, because we don't want to make changes for everybody, and we don't want everybody to know your business. Okay. So after you make a copy, you are going to go to Program Pricing Tool. And this is where you put in your program name, how many months it's going to be, and then you're going to put in your hourly rate. I always suggest that first, I don't encourage my clients to charge per hour, but I do encourage them to know and understand what their hourly rate is on average. So on average, what is your hourly rate? If it's under $200, then I tell them to bump it up. And I usually tell them, because most of my clients are certified in some way, certified coach in some way. So they're either in the mental health field, they have some type of coaching experience through their job, and their job required them to have a degree, or they're straight out certified coaches. I always tell them to start at $250 at least, no lower than. So we got $250 down. Then if they're going to add one-on-one coaching sessions to their program, How many hours is that going to be? It's going to be 1 hour per month, and the program is 3 months, so they get 3 hours. Right now, we're just going to price for one person. Or say you want 6 people, 5 to 6 people in your program. So we're going to put down 6 people. And as you can see, in the pink fields, we're only marking in the pink fields, and everything else will calculate. Okay. How many group coaching hours are you going to get? Let's say 12. You're going to get 1 hour of group coaching a week. How many additional workshops? Say you're like, look, I'm not going to do any additional workshops, and I'm not going to do any assessments. Then we're not going to mark in these areas. And there are calculations already built in. So right now we have a raw amount for the 6 people total of $32,400. Well, guess what? We need to give 4 to 6 bonuses. So you might say, okay, I'm going to give group coaching bonuses, and that's valued at $570. And I'm going to give a template vault, which has all these templates that they can use, which is another value, and a course bundle that's going to go with the program that I'm offering really well, and community access, and that's how much it's worth. These numbers are not going to go in the total, but you do need to know them, so when you share them with the public, they know how much each individual cost and how much the total is, and they know, like, okay, you're getting $1,500 worth of additional bonuses when you sign up. Now, naturally, we're classy, we're professionals, so we give gifts to our clients, and this is a high ticket program, so we're going to give a gift. This is part of the practice. It is customary to give a gift that is either between 1% and 5% of what they pay. So we're just going to say 5%. But if you're like, look, I don't want to pay 5%, I want to do 1%, that's fine too. It's going to automatically calculate that. And then incidentals. Going to add in incidentals. This is usually really good for corporate, but I put it in for my pricing anyway, because there's usually something extra you end up giving your clients that's not, quoted in the price. And so you throw in 10% incidentals to cover those extra things that you throw in, but they weren't really quoted in the price. It was just, you didn't even know they were going to come. You just knew that at some point there's going to be something extra given, and this is going to cover it. So with the service fees it's just service fees. I'll change that to take the discounts part off. But with the service fees, additional service fees, that's $3,500. Well, we got a raw score or a raw number of $3,500. $3,600 potential earnings. Okay. We didn't include any full payment incentives. We didn't include anything else that might go with this. This is potential. This is if you enroll everybody. The group rate, the raw group rate is $59.94. However, we all know that when you're pricing programs, people like to see double zeros or double nines at the end. So this calculator automatically raises that up to $6,000 a person. That's the group rate. But if somebody along the way is like, look, I want to have everything you're offering them, but I want to work with you one-on-one, guess what? That's $1,800. And all you have to do is tweak the group and one-on-one, where instead of them meeting with you in a group setting every week for 12 weeks, you meet with them in person every week for 12 weeks and say they get the extra 3 calls. Okay. That's $1,800. One-on-one should always be 5 figures or more. If it's a pilots, I don't care what anybody says. Somebody will be like, oh, you should do it for free. You should do it for a 10. No, you still have to find valuable clients to join this. They still need to see the value in it, which pricing is an indication of value. And then on top of that, you got to build this, and this is not cheap. So I advise my clients to do pilots at no less than 50% or $2,000. The pilot is $2,000, rock bottom, or no less than 50%. Okay. So for this, it's $29.97. We rolled it up to $3,000 because we like those double zeros. And if a person said, I want to do a one-on-one pilot with you, you would charge them $9,000. Now, I know I said that one-on-one time is 5 figures, and I do believe that, but for the simplicity of mathematics and not to have to go into a whole big thing, just you can charge them $9,000, okay, for the 3 months. There are coaches out here who are charging $50,000, $60,000 for the year. Your one-on-one time, that is so worth it, okay? Now, you want to do a litmus test, okay? The base of this litmus test came from my coach, Amanda Abella, and then I just kind of tweaked it a little bit. So basically, you want to test to make sure that your rates are right. Initially, it was just trying to figure out how much monthly revenue you want and how much your prices are. However, I added in a little tweak because my clients want to leave their 9-to-5s. So how much money do they need to make to leave how much money are they making at their job gross before taxes and all that stuff? Okay, they're making $4,000. Say they're like, look, I make $4,000. Okay, cool, whatever. That means that you need to charge at least 3 times that rate. Now, 3 times that rate gives you a little extra money just in case you don't have any clients 1 month. You still have some money in the savings. But if you just do it twice, that means you get paid and the business gets paid, but there's nothing left over for savings, okay? Just think of it that way. So 3 times the regular amount. And then right here, program rate per client. This is the group rate per client. It is automatically going to be populated over because it's easier to get group members than it is to get one-on-one members. And to be honest, it's easier to work on a group setting than one-on-one setting. And I can explain that later. So you need to enroll 2 people a month. You need to have 10 calls a month or 10 sales calls a month, which breaks down to 200 social media conversations, like actual conversations with leads before you book them a month, or 50 a week, or 10 a day, actual conversations. If these numbers are too much, if you're like, look, I cannot talk to 10 people a day, then you need to change your rates so that you can't, and come up with a number that makes sense for you to talk to them at, so that you can meet their needs, so you can enroll enough people, if that makes sense. So that is a look at the coaching program pricing calculator that I offer my students at BOPS. You get it for free. Visit lasco.vet/BOPS podcast / and you can sign up for it for free. And that's what I got to say about raising your rates in the pricing calculator. I'll see you guys next week and enjoy.